Hi guys, Sanji Bells, my fairy treasures. How you guys doing out there? Okay, I've been talking about in my videos about this Finnabair art or assemblage art. It's assemblage art, but there's a Finnabair style about it. And Finnabair is who I learned how to do this about, oh my God, 12, 13 years ago. Anyway, so what we want to do is we want to do some assemblage Finnabair / Finnabair art on these conversation hearts. These are those ones from Dollar Tree, okay? I put 2 coats of gesso on them. Sometimes you can use white gesso, sometimes you can use black gesso. It just depends on what base color you need for what colors you're using. But I'm using lighter colors, so white is what I'm using on this. Okay, this is what I started setting things up on this. Doesn't that look cool? Now these are mostly Finnabair molds, molded pieces. So go to the I'm trying to think of the site that you can go to, scrapbook.com, and look up Finnabair molds, and you'll start seeing all these molds, the clock mold, these bottles, yeah, it's just the clock mold and the bottles. You'll see them on there. Also, you can look for these on eBay is another good place to find them. Okay, so go to both places and check out prices. So it's Finnabair molds. That's what you do in the search, and then they'll come up and you'll see these really pretty like genie bottles. You'll see the different sets of watches that they have, and I'll show you these pieces up close in a second. Okay, the other thing is, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use this script stamp. Isn't this our stamp? Script stencil. This is Finnabair. See that right there? If you have any type of script stencil, use that. But if you're wanting to get her script stencil, I'm so used to saying script stamp, script stencil, pick that up while you're at scrapbook.com, eBay, and you can also just do a search for Finnabair molds. Okay, and you don't have to use these pieces. Once you go and you start looking at molds, you're gonna want to buy all of them. But also, I'm using the molded pieces that I molded, and we'll talk about how I do these pieces in a second. You can also use broken bits of jewelry. You can use Christmas decorations. I used to always only use a lot of Christmas decorations from Dollar Tree. You can do that. Broken pieces of jewelry. You can do all kinds of stuff for this. You don't just have to use these molded pieces, okay? Okay. All right, I'm going to use a super heavy gesso. Okay, it's real thick, so I'm going to use that. You can also use lightweight spackle, which you can get at Dollar Tree. So let me just see. I prepared everything, of course, and then I'm still looking for stuff. Just a second. I'm looking for my spatula. Oh, here it is. It was in the water still. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take some of this this right here is a super heavy gesso, so that's what I'm using for this. Like I said, you could use wall compound, like lightweight spackle. What else is there that you can use? You can use different paste if you have those in your stash. And it's really cheap if you pick yourself up a little thing of lightweight spackle from Dollar Tree, which used to be the main thing I always use, and I still use it. I just happen to be able to get this dirt cheap Hobby Lobby when they have their 75% off clearance. This was regularly $10.99. I got it for $2.74. So that's why I'm using it. If I didn't get it for this price here, I'd be using the lightweight wall spackle. Okay. And I will always tell you about all the ways you can go about this, because it's not just one way to do all this. Okay, so bam. Look how fabulous this looks. I'm going to bring it up to the camera. I mean, you could stop right there. Look how cool that looks. I think I have too many lights on. There we go. Do I have too many lights on? Maybe not. I think that's better. Isn't that just beautiful? Okay, you guys, I'm going to pause. We're going to let this dry. I'm going to pause this because I need to go immediately wash my stencil, okay? And then we'll talk about this here, okay? So let me pause, you guys. I'm going to wash this out. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I went ahead and got that rinsed off. And let me just clean up my desk a little bit. Okay, so I pulled out the molds that I used to mold these pieces. Okay, I pulled these out. So this is what the mold looks like. Okay, isn't that fabulous, you guys? Look at that. Now, molds are not cheap. These probably cost maybe somewhere between 15 to 20. Sometimes they're on sale. It depends if you get them on eBay or if you get them at scrapbook.com. There's other places, but those are the two main places that I go and get mine. And but what makes these basically free is that you get to use this over and over and over and over and over, okay? So I always say stencil, stamps, and molds are worth their weight in gold. So this is the watch face. Look how much you get. And look at all the little gears too. Make sure you pour yourself all the little bits too. These are, and this is, I believe this is Finnabair. Yeah. This one, I think, Finnabair makes one that's like this, but she has sold out. Okay, so you can look up Finnabair for this mold. I think I got this mold on eBay. When you go to, and you search Finnabair molds, you'll find this, this mold. It'll be like in that same area on eBay. But you can also look at Finnabair. She also makes something similar to this. And that's what I was looking for in the first place, but I couldn't find it. So I wanted something kind of mystical and magical. So that's why I have, it's a form of collage or assemblage. It's really a form of collage. This is how we're going to set it up. Okay. Oh, and what I do, a lot of people use resin in their molds. It's so expensive. I use resin if I need it to be flexible, but most of the time I don't need it to be flexible. So I like to use plaster of Paris. So much easier. Now, I just did some plaster of Paris pieces that actually got moldy. I'm going to undo this. That actually got moldy. Just only one set of them. So just make sure that you really set them out before you put them in like a plastic container. Because what I do is I make a bunch of molded pieces, so I have them ready to go when I'm ready to do my assemblage. Let them sit out for like 2 weeks. You don't have to wait 2 weeks to use them. They'll be fine. But it's just putting them in like something plastic if there's any moisture left. And when you're making a project, you can use them right after they dry within an hour. But, and that piece is in the air, okay? So it's drying out. But I had put these pieces after like 3 or 4 days in a plastic container, and that's when the mold started. So I never had that problem before, but anyway, just letting you know. Okay, so this is what it looks like when after it dries, okay? So that's why I wanted to do one with you and then have one all ready to go so we can just start. Okay, so now we're ready for the painting. Well, we got to paint the background. So I was inspired by this painted background. I belong to Finnabair on on what? On Facebook, in Finnabair's group on Facebook. If you like this type of artwork, join that group so it's Finnabair, F-I-N-N-I-B-A-I-R. Join her Facebook group. You will get so much inspiration. You will love it. You will get so much inspiration. You know what? Okay, these are the two turquoises I'm going to use. I want that turquoise, I think, to be a little lighter. So I'm going to add a little white to it. Hopefully I have my white out. I usually have white and black always sitting on my table. I do. Very good. So I'm going to, oh, I've never even opened this up yet. Just a second. And people have been waiting for this video because I'm always talking about Finnabair art. And I do a lot of Finnabair art. I just don't usually do videos on it. I'm usually doing my other mixed media with collage. But this is collage too. It's just using pieces. And like I said, you don't have to use these molded pieces. Go through your stash and look at old Christmas decorations or Christmas decorations that you've gotten from Dollar Tree. You can look at broken bits of jewelry, whatever, buttons. You can do all kinds of stuff and do this kind of art, okay? But I do have to say, these molded pieces are addicting. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take, you want some kind of like a bunch of brushes like this that are kind of stiff. They really help get into the nooks and crannies and really move things around. So I'm going to mix this up real quick. I wanted a little bit lighter shade of turquoise, which now we have. I wanted a distinct difference between these two. See? And I'm just going to press this on here. Oh, you know, let's go like this. Yeah, this is better. I got this color combination that I'm about to do from the Facebook group, Finnabair's Facebook group, and I'm always taking pictures or saving pictures on Facebook for inspiration when I see other people's work. Not to copy exactly, but just to get some really good inspiration, some really good ideas, and especially color combinations. It's great for color combinations. All right, and then I'm going to paint the sides too. This is one of those scruffy brushes. I like a stiff, if you don't have stiff brushes, you can use what you have, but I like these stiff brushes. You know those brushes that you have, you've brought them home, you're like, they're real stiff, and you're like, what do I do with these? They're great for this type of work. Because there's going to be a lot of little nooks and crannies that you need to get into, and these work really well for that. Okay. So we got this painted up. There we go. Let me, okay, I have my paper towel. Let me also grab some, oh, they're right here. Perfect. When you do work like this or any type of crafting or artwork, have baby wipes at hand. It really helps. In my opinion, pick them up from Dollar Tree. You know which ones I like from Dollar Tree? I like these Fisher Price ones because they're nice and thick. Their off-brand isn't as nice and thick, but these are real nice and plush, and they have a lot of moisture to them, so that's the ones I like. Sometimes I don't have them, so I can't get those, so, but if you can, get those. Okay, next. I want to, on the outside, like shade this whole piece with this. And I want these two to blend together good. So I'm going to use a little bit of water. And this will blend really well into this with the water. Perfect. spray a little water. And that water is going to give us a nice blend into the, so they just blend into each other. So it looks like, you know, nice shading. And when you shade, you want that blend, right? At least I do. Okay. Perfect. I'm going to just, I have a lot of water on here. I'm just going to take off some of this water. And you can play with things and go back and forth. Like I'm going to go back into this lighter color and pounce that a little bit more. There we go. And there's so much water on here that it's blending into, the two colors are blending into each other right away. Beautiful blend. Love it. Okay, so we need this to, oh, you know what? We also need, I also need to do this to the outside. You know what we're going to do is I'm going to dry everything, and then I'm not going to do the outside, but you kind of want to do the same thing to the outside. Well, you know what? Let me just see something. It's just that everything is so wet right now. I think I can go ahead and do it right now. It's so weird when you make videos doing this because there's so much things that need to dry. But when I'm showing you guys, it's like, I don't got time for drying. You have no choice. Things have to dry. Okay, so I'm pouncing this on, and to get the nice blend, I am just spraying water, and the colors mesh together. And I can't really show you. You can kind of see, you can see what I'm doing, but you can't exactly see the results. But I'll show you the results after I dry it. So I'm just doing just half of the side and then blending it into the lighter turquoise. Okay. Okay. And I'm also going to pounce a little bit of this, my lighter color, into it, just a little bit. Sorry, I'm getting quiet on you guys. Just focusing. Okay. All right, so this is really soaking wet, but this is beautiful. This is exactly what we want it to get. Let me bring the camera down so you can see. I'm going to pause it again. I'm going to use my dryer and dry all this. And if you're not, you know, doing a video, just let it dry naturally and then come back and we'll start putting on the pieces. But look how cool that looks. Doesn't that look fabulous? I love that. Okay, so let me go ahead, pause you guys. I'm going to use my dryer and dry this. So I'll be right back. Okay, guys. For you, it's been about 1 second. For me, it's been about 10 minutes. Okay, so I dried this. Let me bring it up. Doesn't that look fabulous? See how it's lighter in the middle and the edges on the outside, it's a little bit darker. So we did some real pretty shading on it. It's already gorgeous. And then this just has a little bit of a muddled look, which I love. We'll also take some other colors. Like I think I'm gonna take some gold and just go like this on it. So we'll do that. So this just has kind of a muddled look. I even have some drips and stuff on it, and I'm good with that, okay? But there we go. So the next step is, oh, I want to share something. I just shared that with you guys. The super heavy gesso. Hobby Lobby is about to start doing 75% off of each section at a time. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because I always shop the 75% off clearance. That's when I buy the bulk of my craft stuff, is at the Hobby Lobby clearance. And especially when they get to the fine art section, that's when you can get all your mediums. Like this was only $2.74, regularly $10.99. That's a super heavy gesso. So if you want to be able to buy that at a good price. And modeling paste. This was, is the price on it? Okay, it was 75% off. It was probably 25, 30 bucks. I probably paid $5 or $6 for it. Okay, and it's modeling paste, and that's what you're going to use to glue your pieces on. This stuff is great to glue on heavy pieces like this. Now let's suppose you don't have this and you don't really want to go out and get it yet. You can also use like some E6000 too. Okay, E6000 will work also, but as soon as you can get your hands on the modeling paste, this is the best thing to do these heavier pieces with. Okay, let me take my brushes and put these in water before paint dries on them. Okay, and also I keep this plastic bag over it because it keeps it from drying out. Otherwise my modeling paste dries out. Okay, and when you guys see these mediums for this price, if I was you, I would stock. I buy tons because I do this kind of work all the time, so I like to have a nice stash of all this stuff, and I like to be able to get it at the clearance price. Okay, so what do we have going on here? Okay, so what we had first was this frame, and we're going to glue this down. Isn't that frame beautiful? Oh, this is also another mold. So you can, this is Finnabair. You can look for Finnabair frames, which I think are fabulous. Okay, and that's going to go right here. Let me just work it out again so I know where things are going again. These pieces are going here. This is going like this. I think this little clock is going here. And I did this watch face going up here on top of this frame, and then one more watch face going right there. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of get an idea of what I'm doing. I'm going to set my pieces aside like this so I know what's going on. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to use one of these little spatulas, get some molding paste out, and I'm just going to put some molding paste right here if you can see it on my glass mat. I'm telling you guys right now, this glass mat was like one of the best things I've ever bought. I bought it, where did I buy this glass mat? Oh, also sometimes the pieces aren't completely flat when you mold the pieces. So if they're not, especially since they're only plaster of Paris, that can be with a sanding block from Dollar Tree. Just give it a good sanding to kind of blend that out a little flatter, or sand it a little flatter, and be careful not to break the piece. Because you want these pieces to be flat so they can glue down flat. Good. So see, that's nice and flat now. I like when things like that happen because then I can show you little tricks. So when you run into something like that, you know how to handle it. Okay. So that's going to go up here. You guys, I love doing this Finnabair assemblage type of art. It's another form of collage. It's collage. Everything I do is collage because I love collage. It's another form of collage, but you're using like little objects instead of paper, which is really cool. Okay, so this is this bottle. Let me show you what it looks like. Isn't that just gorgeous? Wait till we paint this whole thing up. I'm excited. So after we glue all of our pieces down, this is going to need to sit overnight. I could try drying it with my my dryer. Press down too and make sure it gets good adhesion. Not too hard or you'll break the pieces. But when you force the drying time, it's not as good. It really is good if you can just let these sit overnight and dry, and then do the painting in the morning or whenever you can. So what I'm going to do is let this sit overnight. For you guys, it'll, you know, it'll be a second. For me, it'll be overnight. Oh, I didn't show you that piece up close. Let me just show you. Look how beautiful that bottle is. They're like little genie bottles, like little magical little bottles that you would see under the ocean, or beautiful little bottles that you would see in a curio cabinet or a cabinet of curiosities, or like they look like little magical bottles full of herbs and tinctures. So I wanted this to look very mystical and magical, and the colors I chose to go with this turquoise look very mystical and magical. And I just thought the clocks with this add to that mystical, magical vibe. Can't believe I just said vibe. I never say vibe. But that's the word that seemed like it went. Okay, so, oh, I didn't show you again. That's the, those bottles come all together like that in the mold. Okay, this little watch face, isn't that fabulous? But that's why I feel that it's worth the money to invest in your molds, because you can use them over and over and over and over forever. I've never had a mold go bad. I'm not saying a mold can't go bad, but I've never had a problem. I have this little gear. See, little pieces like this are fabulous. Make sure you pour. She always puts a bunch of little gears and little pieces. Make sure that you also do those pieces, that you mold those pieces, because they can look really fabulous on things. I'm thinking about putting that right there. So see that tiny little gear? I'm going to put that right there in the middle. I think that'll look fabulous. I should go to my little stock of molded pieces and put little gears in the center of all these. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, next we're going to do this. Isn't that fabulous? Sometimes I leave the little thick pieces here because once we paint everything, it doesn't really matter, and it gives this piece here a little structure. Sometimes the pieces like that need a little more structure. Get a little bit more of this modeling paste out. I never knew modeling paste would glue stuff down, and I learned that from Finnabair. She uses molding paste to glue her stuff down. When I first started watching her, she's sponsored by Prima. Prima's also what you can look under for molds. Some of my molds are just Prima, and some are Prima, and Finnabair works for Prima. So Prima makes all of Finnabair's molds and stencils and all of that. But they have their own too, so you can always get a mixture of them too. All right, let's press that down. Okay, right on top of that frame. It gives that frame some structure. It gives this clock some structure to layer. Layering is really important in assemblage type of art also, just like when we're doing layering in our collages with paper and stuff. same. Okay, so let's put this down right over that. Very cool. Yeah, I'm not going to put any gears anywhere else, but I just put that gear right there on that one. So let me bring this up so you guys can take a look at it. Doesn't that look fabulous? Look how easy that was. Now, like I said, you don't have to use molded pieces. You could take these hearts, and the paint I use, Finnabair also has paint. You can use whatever paint you want, okay? On this project, for this background, I used, what did I use? I used Delta, which I got for $1.49. They also clearance the craft section paints down to $1.49. I got this. I'm using this Tahitian blue. That's on the outside for the shading. And for my highlighting in the middle, I'm using this turquoise. Again, $1.49, regularly $5.99 from Hobby Lobby. I let you guys know all this so you can save money, stock up when these sales are happening. And in the next, at least by February 1st, that's the clearances should be starting, the 75% off. Each aisle, each week, there's a new sale. I spend way too much money. Okay, so to let you know about that. And I did mix a little bit of white into the lighter turquoise color. Okay, again, $1.49, regularly $4.39. Now, to colorize all of this, what we're going to do, let me put the lid back on my molding paste so you know where we're going. Okay, let that dry. I'm going to use a combination of paints, okay? I am going to use Finnabair Patina Effect Paste, okay? If I want, I could use just this color here, okay? If I wanted to. Oh, wait, no, I'm not going to use this. I thought I was going to use this. Did I use this color? I didn't. Never mind, I'm not using this. I was supposed to use this and I didn't. Okay, anyway. To colorize this piece, I'm going to use some different shades of purple, which I think is going to be fabulous. This is a really super dark shade of purple. You get this at Hobby Lobby, $12.99. I usually get it when it's 50% off or when it's on clearance. So, and every other week they have them on sale. So I probably bought this for $5 or $6. Then this craft paint color here by Apple Barrel, lavender. And then this shade of purple. I love this shade of purple. I was so excited because this is expensive. This Deco Art, this brilliant purple, this color here. Look how cool it's going to look. Look at those shades. This is it looks almost black, but it's a deep, deep purple. This is going to look fabulous altogether. I got this for 34 cents. I normally had to pay like almost $2.50 for this color. I picked up as all they had. Cleared the shelf. I was like, no way is this brilliant purple Deco Art 34 cents. I picked up tons of them. Okay, so I'm going to use those 3 shades of purple on some of these. I'm going to use, I love shades of purple with green. So I think I'm going to use, okay, this is Anita's. And this is like an olive green. This green right here is like this color green. And maybe this right here. This is a patina mint green. All 3 of those greens. Okay? Greens against purple looks fabulous. I love it. Okay? Also, I may highlight some things with this. This is Inca Gold. And this is the purple here. It's like a paste. It's nice. To highlight everything at the end, I think I'm going to use this brass color. Isn't that fabulous? And this is by Finnabair. So I think I'm going to use that. Either I'll use that or I'll use this gold. This one is Master's Touch again. Picked these last year. Okay, these are normally $5.99. I usually get them for half off, 50% off when they're off 50% off week. And So I usually pay like $3 for them. They were clearance these for $1.49. I could not believe it. Especially this gold color, this antique gold color, I used the heck out of it. I stocked up. I bought all they had. To highlight things, I may use this one. So we'll see which one looks better, this gold or this gold with everything. We'll see. But that's what the next step is after this all dries, is to paint everything. And I'll show you, you do a really cool painting technique with these stiff brushes, the paint, and a little bit of water. So things really mesh together real pretty, and you'll like it. It's very, very easy to do the painting part. All of this is easy, and it's really super fun. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry. For you, it's gonna be about 1 second. For me, it's gonna be overnight. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause here, and you guys will see this. I'll be back in about a second, like I said, for you. For me, it'll be overnight. So see you in a few. All right, you guys. We have, what do we need? We left off last time where we need to let this whole thing dry because we glued all the pieces down. Okay, so for you guys, it's been seconds. For me, it's been overnight. So I let these all dry overnight. And that really is, just a second, that really is the best thing, is to let their pieces dry overnight. You can use your your dryer or your hot gun, but the best thing is to let them dry overnight if you can. So that's what I did. Okay, so now it's time to color the pieces, right? And I went over the colors last time. I'm gonna move this over because I'm gonna put my colors right here on the side on my glass mat. Let's do all the purple. What we're gonna do purple first, okay? So I wanna do, I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Show you. Okay, so we have this right here. This is called Brilliant Purple by Deco Art. I talked about this yesterday. I can't believe I got this for 34 cents. This is like $1.99 normally. And yes, when I saw that price, I was like, get in the cart. I cleared the shelf because that's one of my favorite colors, and I paid the $1.99 for that color. But when I saw that I didn't have to, I was like, yes, ma'am. Okay, this color, it's Lilac Dust by Apple Barrel. And then this is a really deep, beautiful purple Master's Touch that you get at, where? Hobby Lobby. And these big ones, these big Mama Jamas are $12.99. I usually get them when they're 50% off. So it'll be about $6, which is a great deal for artist grade paint. This isn't just acrylic, it's actually artist grade, so that's a really good deal. Okay, just a second, guys. Sorry about banging. Just a second. Okay, there we go. So I'm trying to get this purple out of here. There we go. All right. So we have our 3 colors, these 3 different shades of purple, and I need some water. So we have that right here. Okay. All right, and we're gonna go with 3 different brushes. Like I said, I'm using some smaller brushes, and they're real stiff kind. I love these for this type of work, a real stiff brush so we can get into little places. So I'm not going to do the clocks. The clocks we're going to do in the different shades of green. I love green and purple next to each other. I think it's beautiful. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. And I kind of just work with all 3 of these in my hand, like I'm doing right now. I just keep the brushes in my hand. And then we're going to hit this with water. And the water will mesh all this together. Okay, so we just pounced in all the color and just hit it with a little bit of water, and everything will start meshing together. If you have to move things around just a little bit, re-hit a few areas, go ahead. So you're just playing back and forth with all these colors, and I think it's beautiful. All right, let's do it to the other side. I may have to move this camera up. Maybe not. We'll see. These brushes are like super long brushes. So if they start hitting the camera, I'm gonna have to do something about that. Okay, hit it with a little bit of water. I got a little purple on the clock, but I'm fine with that. And some places, if you need to add a little bit more color, you can. If you need to blend things out a little more, you can. Do whatever you need to do. Looks good. And then when I'm done, I'm going to go around all the edges and fill those in, probably with a deep purple, or maybe I'll do a few different colors. But right now I'm just worrying about the top part of it, okay? All right, next let's go to this. Okay, and this is what you do. Just keep over and over. Just keep pouncing in color. And I love this color combo. I got this color combination. Where did I get this from? Oh, from Finnabair's Facebook group. So that would be a really good, if you like doing this type of artwork, go join her. It's Finnabair, F-I-N-N-I-B-A-I-R, on Facebook. Go join that group. Everyone's always posting, and you'll get so inspired. You'll get so many great ideas. You'll get great color combinations, great ideas. I mean, everybody in there is just so good, so talented, so inspiring. And I'm just going to just take off any excess water. Something just broke off. Not sure what that was. All right, it's a piece that we don't need, so I'm not going to worry about it. Let me see if I can get this color off of here. There we go. There we go. Oh. All right, so I'm going to keep going. Okay. Okay. Sorry, you guys, if I get quiet here and there. I'm just focusing. Okay, so we got all that. I'm going to do this one here. And then I'll bring it up kind of close so you guys can see it in just a second. Finnabair also has her own acrylic paints, and they're wonderful. So when you're on there and you're buying some of her molds, you could check out the paints too. There's a lot of her paints are really good. And I'll show you something else that I love. I'll show them to you in just a second. Let me just finish this right quick. They're the waxes. She has ones that are matte and ones that have a little bit of that aren't matte. Just get a little more of this in there, and I'll show them to you in just a second here. All right, let's get a little bit of water going. So everything starts, the water makes everything muddled, so everything starts meshing together. And I just sometimes hit with the same brush in that same color, just a little bit, like hitting that area, so it just moves a little bit more and meshes a little bit more. Sometimes it needs a little extra help. There we go. And I'm just going to take the excess water, just in between, just get some of the excess water off of here. Like that. There we go. There we go. So let me show you what things are looking like so far. Let me put these down. Okay, we'll put this over here. This one goes over here, and this one goes here. Okay. So this is what we have so far. Okay. And I'd like to see things blended a little bit better, so I'm gonna hit everything with a little bit more water, and then let things run a little bit. There we go. There we go. The water is the key, and that's also why you need to let your pieces sit overnight, so that you don't loosen up your pieces. These are on here really good because we let it really dry overnight. So and then let the water drip off because I don't want my pieces sitting in water. Very nice. Oh, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to pause you guys. I'm going to go ahead and finish this one, get started on these pieces, and we'll be right back and we'll finish up the painting part. And oh, really quickly, this is what I was going to show you. On this paint here, you can apply these waxes and it just adds that extra oomph to your piece. This is charcoal black, which I'm probably going to go around all the pieces with this to do the shading. Okay, this is a peacock color. We might add some of this peacock color just here and there on areas. And then this electric violet color. So over our deepest purple, I'll probably just throw a little bit of this in there. And this one is a matte wax. This one is a metallic. Yeah, they're metallic. This one's more metallic. And this is matte, again, charcoal. So let me pause you guys. I'm going to finish up the purple, start the green, and then we'll come back and we'll finish it up. Okay, you guys, so this is where we're at so far. I went ahead and finished up the last bottle, and then I did 2 of the clocks, which I think is coming out really, really pretty. And then I went around to all of the edges that were showing on the bottles and this. On the bottles, I went with this color and went around to all the edges with this color, okay? And then I went to all the edges with the watch faces, I think, with this color here. And you just want to just go to all the edges and just tap them a little bit, okay? Just to get them colored, to get rid of that white. And if things aren't super clean around each one of these, don't worry. That's when we're going to do the shading, and the shading is going to come in, okay? So let me do this clock with you guys. Is this breaking? Oh, I don't know why that broke off there. Huh. That's weird. That's fine. When I molded it, it obviously wasn't very strong. Huh. That's weird. Okay. And then we'll go with the this green color here. What I like about how it's turning out is it's turning out very just magical and vintagey. Very pretty. And we're going to go to our lightest color. And fill in everywhere else. And then, of course, water. Okay, and then I'm just going to pounce, especially the darker color, I'm going to pounce over that while it's nice and wet, just so it blends in a little bit better. Okay, any colors that aren't blending the way you want them after you spray them with water, just pounce them, and they'll start blending a little bit better into everything else. Love it. And you just keep pouncing in color until you like what you're seeing, okay? And I like that. Now, I'm going to take this chartreuse, that's the color. This color right here, it's by Waverly, it's a chalk paint, matte finish. I'm going to take that, and I may get out of range, you guys, here and there. So I'm sorry if I do. I wish that wouldn't have broken off, that piece. But we're fine. This is made to look very like vintagey, so the fact that that broke off We are good. If I get out of frame, you guys, I'll be back in frame. I just have to move this piece around and around so I can get into all the nooks and crannies of this piece. I'm looking at my camera, just trying to stay in place. Okay, and you know what else I need to do to the purple? I see some spots in the purple, so let me rinse out this brush. Which is why you guys don't see me do this, do the Finnabair art. I don't do as many videos with the Finnabair art, just because I'm going to use this color. See this color here? This is that, this one for the edges to fill in. Because there's so much, there's drying time. So because of the drying time, a lot of times I don't do these videos, but people have been saying they want to see the Finnabair art. So there's going to be more of these videos this year. And we'll just have to, I'll film it in steps and let it dry, and then what I like to do at the end is then I just combine all the videos together. Okay, so I'm just going and hitting any little area that's not painted. If I see a little area. And that's why a little stiff brush like this is perfect for this. So if you have those stiff brushes in your collection and you hate them, they're good for this. I always say, if you buy a paintbrush and you hate it, don't throw it away. Keep it, because you never know what you can use a brush for. Some of my worst brushes that I hated, which were these, I love for this work. So brushes like this also make great clouds, make great waves in the water. So okay, I'm just going around and around to make sure I've got into all the little nooks and crannies. On the sides. And you may want to go around and look at the nooks and crannies a couple of times, because I already did this once and now there's still more areas. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Beautiful. Okay, one thing I want to show you guys to clean up, let me put these, to clean up the around the areas. There wouldn't be as much cleanup around the areas if we use the same colors for the background that we use for the pieces. A lot of times I do that. The background is the same as this, so it all meshes together. But I wanted to do this color combination because, like I said, I saw it in Finnabair's Facebook group. Somebody used these similar type of colors. See how the purple and that green look together? I love purple and green together. Let's take, and I may be using this or I may be using acrylic paint. We'll see. This, these waxes, you can't really paint over them for the most part. So you want to use your waxes last, okay? Let me see if I want to use this wax for the shadowing. So I'm going to go around each piece with black. Or in this case, is this black? Charcoal black matte wax. You can also use like acrylic paint for this too. Let's see if I don't have any smaller brush. This is the small, no, this is the one that's smaller. All right, you know what? Just a second. I love these matte waxes, but they smell really strange. They have a real strange smell to them. I forgot, can you, let me just experiment with something. I forgot if you can add water with these waxes or not. No, you can't. Okay. Yeah, it's a wax, so most of the time you can't. But there are some waxes that are like actually water soluble. All right, so I'm just going to go around like this and put a nice little shadow. Oh, this is working perfect for the shadow. Perfect. And it gives it more of a realistic look also. And then it also just starts to clean up everything. If you got any little bits of paint, if you have any areas, it gets shadowed. So this is perfect. Very nice. Okay, see how better that looks? So I'm going to pause again. I'm going to go around everything and shadow everything, and then I'll be back. Okay guys, let me show you where we're at. So I worked on some of this off camera so that I could get a little head start, know what direction I'm going in, and show you. So what I did, the first thing I did was I didn't use the charcoal black matte wax any longer. What I decided to do was break out my Stabilo. Stabilo is nothing, basically it's a black water soluble pencil. So if you have a black water soluble colored colored pencil, water soluble, you can use that. Okay. And you want a pencil because you can go, what I did is I took my pencil and I went around, I can show you right here. I went around to the edges, all the edges everywhere, here, 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 anywhere, just all around each piece. Okay. Then you want to take your brush and have it wet. Just making sure what I'm doing here. Okay, take your brush, wet your brush, and then you can just go along the edge a little bit, and it gives you a beautiful shadow. This is what gave me the nicest shadow. So there we go. So that's what I did, is I went around every little piece, and see the little shadowing around each piece. Okay. You need to make sure I hit everything with water. And you just want to smear it a little bit. That's all you're trying to do, is just smear it and create a little shadow around each piece. It just gives it more dimension and just a better look. And if you see a little nook, make that little nook a little dark. Remember when I first started doing this, I was a little bit scared. I'm like, why are you scared? I do this when I do my artwork. It's the same thing. So don't be scared. when you do the little bit of shadowing, it really pops your piece. Okay, so I did that all the way around all the pieces. The next thing I did, which I'm absolutely loving, is I took this electric violet. This is a metallic wax. I hit all the areas like that are the darkest purple and a few other areas too. But you know, I need to not be so close to this camera. There we go. With my finger, I'm just going around, like, especially because it's a darker color, I don't want to cover up my lighter areas, and just hitting all the dark areas. And it's a metallic wax, and it adds just a little extra coolness to your piece. Adds a little metallic. Okay. And you may add just a little bit, even in some lighter areas, not too much, but just a little bit here and there. And it just adds, that metallic wax is just beautiful. Okay. Okay, so the next thing, so I just added a little, oh, the next thing is you want to, let me just wipe this off my finger. I took that same metallic wax, let me use my baby wipe and get some of this off my fingers. All right, use my brush that I've made for the purple. Is this it? Yeah. And take that purple metallic wax, and I'm hitting the edges just to give further a little bit of shading with purple. And it kind of ties things together. And when you do that, put it on, but then kind of go over it in a little circular motion just to blend it out a little bit, so it doesn't look just like a line. Okay, so put it on like this, but then go over it just in a little circular motion just to blend it out a little bit. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but that's what I did. A little bit more of this. There we go. Okay. Wipe some of this off my brush. And just go in a little circular motion so it just blends it out so it doesn't look like a line. And when you go back over it and blend it out a little bit, you don't want to have too much of the wax on there. Gorgeous. Look how pretty that looks. And then you can even turn it to your sides. I'll work on my sides off camera, but just to show you, I'm going to do that to my sides too. Okay, I'm going to go like this. And then blend it a little bit. You're blending it like basically on the edge. And I won't do the whole, all the sides, but I'm just going to do enough so that you can get an idea of how that's going to look. These pieces like this take a little bit of time. There's drying and then there's steps, but it's so fun and it's so relaxing and it's so gratifying. I love it. I've been doing this kind of work for the last, as long as Finnabair has been on her YouTube channel. When she wasn't sponsored by Prima, she used only broken jewelry bits, bolts, screws, whatever, all that kind of stuff she would collect. And which you can still use all of that. I could have added some of that stuff into what I'm doing right now. So see what the sides look like. Look how fabulous the sides look now. Isn't that pretty? I love that. So I'll go around to all the sides and do that, which I think will be fabulous. Okay, but not right now, because we want to finish this up right now. So then, to give the really, just make it really, really sing. See how I did the gold right here? I was going to use this gold here, but it's a little bit too goldy, so I'm going to use this color, the antique gold, a master's touch, which I got from and I'm just going to use my finger and just really, not a whole lot on your finger, wipe a bunch off your finger. I got that gold master's touch from Hobby Lobby, and you're just gonna, just whatever is raised is what you're gonna touch. And this just gives just a beautiful effect. Gorgeous. Some of this beautiful gold on this, the watch face. Now you have to be careful if you do your molded pieces with plaster of Paris, because when I put all that water on there, it can weaken your pieces and they can break. That's probably how this piece broke here, because I had another piece break right here, the tip of that bottle. So what I did when the tip of that bottle broke, I just used some E6000 and glued it back on, okay? Back together and onto the heart. So when you're using that water, be very, don't use too much, just one little spray and then get it dripping off. Okay, so that none of your pieces get too much water on them and they start dissolving, the water starts dissolving your plaster of Paris. If you're using resin, because a lot of people use resin to do their pieces, you don't have to worry about that. But it's just when you're using plaster of Paris. Gorgeous. And you know, I'm gonna get a little bit more of that paint out, and I'll come up close to the camera too so you guys can see this. I'm gonna take a little bit of this gold paint with my fingers and just hit some of the high areas, because remember the first thing we did was just here and there. We did the script Oh, I like that. That's pretty. We did the script stencil. So I'm just adding a little bit of gold here and there to highlight that script a little bit. Pretty. Just in areas. Also, you might want to add a little gold to the edges of the heart. And you're going to get yourself more and more ideas. The more you do stuff like this, don't worry, the ideas will come to you. Like, I wasn't planning on putting that gold like that on the edges, but it came to me and I said, oh, that'll look pretty. So I did it. So pretty. Also, where I have the sides here, I could just take a little bit of gold and just lightly just brush it a little bit here and there. And that would be really pretty. See how pretty the sides look like that? Gorgeous. So let me bring this up really nice and close so you guys can see what we have. So that's how the piece looks there. And then let me just bring it up. Isn't that pretty? So it's just one, it's all collage, but you're doing using pieces. And like I've said, you do not have to use these molded pieces, these Finnabair molded pieces. But once you start buying them, you'll be obsessed like I am. But you can use broken bits of jewelry. You can use like little Christmas decorations from Dollar Tree. You can use screws, bolts, lots of cool things you can get like at Home Depot. Lots of things around your house. Just start collecting all that kind of stuff. Because even if you use molded pieces, it's kind of cool to throw some of that kind of stuff in here too. Screws, bolts, nails, all that kind of stuff. Broken bits of jewelry, of course. So there we go. And we are finished. I am loving this. Let me put my readers on just so I can see a little bit better. Yeah, I love how this turned out. Very, very, very pretty. Very pretty. So I hope you guys like it. So this was originally a heart, one of those conversation hearts from Dollar Tree. And that's what we originally used. And look what we turned it into. Okay, you guys, that is it for this one. Oh, good. Altogether, this was only 43 minutes. Now, I had to take overnight to let pieces dry. So it takes a little bit more time than 43 minutes. But it's worth all the time. And it's so fun. It's so gratifying. And things like this, wouldn't this be a beautiful gift to give someone? Fabulous. And these conversation hearts, they stand up like this, so it can stand up by itself. The other thing is, you know those Jenga pieces from Dollar Tree? You might want to take some E6000 and glue on to the back, like if it's going to sit like this, glue onto the back. There we go. A couple Jenga pieces, so that it has some weight and it just has something to lean against. Okay. So just make sure that it's just more stable. It's still pretty stable, but that would give you a little bit more. So like right here at the bottom, put those Jenga pieces. And then that way it just gives even a better way of staying. So unless it's going to maybe, yeah, that's what I would do. All right, you guys, that is it for this one. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can give this video a thumbs up, any comments or questions, leave them below. Come visit me on Facebook and Instagram. We have a group called Our Magical Little Place. If you do some of this type of work, please come share it with the group. Even if you don't want to do, if you don't do this type of artwork or crafting, share whatever it is. I don't care if it's knitting, crocheting, mixed media, junk journaling, whatever it is. Come share with us. Also come and look and get inspired by others. If you have an Etsy shop, if you have a YouTube channel and you have content, share all of that with us, okay? If you make videos, share the link. All right, you guys, that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.